Hi everyone, welcome to The Last Drop. I am Chris, thank you for joining me today. This is my series on my whiskey diary, where I tell you about my whiskey journey for the month. So let's get straight into it. 4th of the 12th, 2020, I had an Irish whiskey tasting with Swag, which is the Sussex Whiskey Appreciation Group. If you're in Sussex, give us a shout and I can put you in touch with joining the group so you can socialise with some great whiskey drinkers. But yeah, Irish whiskey tasting. We started off with Writer's Tears, Copper Pot Blend, Single Pot, Single Malt. Bit of a mouthful. I've started this year, so even though it's last month, I've started this year with not really doing some notes, but giving you my rating. So for this one, I've given it 7 out of 10. Pretty solid dram. Next up was Method of Madness, which I believe is from Jameson, like their experimental division. Finished in Virgin Spanish Oak. Again, I gave this one 7 out of 10. Pretty good actually. Next up was Kinahan's Hybrid Cask, spelt with a K, Riot of Wood. So this one they used a barrel made up of 5 different woods, so they took it into the cooperage, split up 5 different barrels and then assembled them all higgledy-piggledy. This one was okay. I think it needed more time to develop and so forth. 6 out of 10. Next up was West Cork Bog Oak Chard. So if I remember correctly, it's a specific, it's not a bog, but there's an oak from a bog that they use charred sort of staves, I guess, or something in it. Not bad, 6 out of 10. Then we had Curragh Single Malt Kombu Seaweed Charred Cask. So this one was really interesting actually. So they get the seaweed from the Atlantic, they sling it in the barrel, char it up with the seaweed in there, or they use the seaweed to burn the char, so they set light to the seaweed. Funky nose, sort of an umami thing going on. Really interesting, very nice. 8.5 out of 10. Next up was Brothership 10-year-old Irish American blend, so Irish whiskey and American whiskey blended together. It was alright. Probably better than the first two. 7.5 out of 10. Then we had, it was a long old evening of drams. Teeling Cairo Rye Gin Cask Finish. Cairo Gin is a Finnish rye based gin. So instead of barley, they use rye to make the gin and add the botanicals and so forth. Really different, needed some air, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. Cask, thinking back on it now, the cask influence was very high, so I think because it was so different, made it a lot more interesting than the others. So a big hit of a flavour rather than subtleties of the others. But really nice, really worth checking out that one. 9 out of 10. Next up was Teeling Whisky Fancy Pineapple Rum Cask from Plantation. So they got some rum casks from Plantation that they do their pineapple rum in, which I'm not keen on the old sort of pineapple rums from Plantation, to be honest. I've had it a couple of times and yeah, it's alright, but there's other better rums, to be honest. But still, made a really good whiskey, added that sweetness in there. 8 out of 10. So all in all, a pretty good evening, to be honest. Some great whiskies. Really interesting to try Irish whiskies of those different types, and I really do suggest you go and check them out. Fantastic stuff. Next up, 11th of the 12th, I had London Whisky Club Secret Santa evening. So this was basically, we put into an app, and and then we got given a person to send 100 mils to, and we could split it into 2 different ones as well, 50 mils each. So we sent each other. In the end, we all like made out who we'd sent and so forth, who our Secret Santa was. But it was pretty cool. I ended up with a Bunnahabhain 2008 Manzanilla wood at 52.3%. Very, very nice, very interesting. Nose I put very, very woody. Adding some water brought some toffee notes coming out as well. Taste, because of that ABV, massive Bunna pow hit, spicy with that wood going on as well. Very good. Then I also had, if you know me, a Legic 2009, finished in Oloroso casks, 57.6%. It's great whiskey, don't get me wrong, but everybody's doing it. Nose was bacon frazzles, smoky barbecue meats, sweet sherry going on as well. I put down this because it's relatively common now and just seems to come out every year in quite a few different independent bottles. I think I'm going to call it a classic. It's a classic Legic. It's fantastic stuff. I mean, if you agree, please comment down below. Then what did we have then? We're getting up to Christmas time, so bought a couple of bottles secretly. Don't tell the wife. A Glen Scotia 11-year-old Oloroso and PX finished. Fantastic stuff. And I also bought a GlenAllachie 10-year-old cask strength batch 4. Both of these fantastic, actually, really, really nice, super Christmassy, and both very different. The GlenAllachie's got a massive hit of sherry going on, and the Glen Scotia just a fantastic bit of Campbelltown funk going on. Cloves, I got quite a bit of cloves coming in, so that sort of Christmassy element coming out of the Glen Scotia as well. Both really, really nice. I hope that these come out sort of around Christmas time every year, because they're kind of the bottles that I'd probably be looking at getting. Probably one of them sort of alternate years. Fantastic stuff, really, really good. Really enjoying them. Then after Christmas, so we got to my sort of stuff that I got for Christmas, which was nice. But one of the most interesting ones, Jim Beam Devil's Cut, 45%, nice woody kick, slightly spicy finish, and for the price, really, really good. I think you could have get it around 20 quid, something like that, around Christmas time. Yeah, it was really interesting to try this one. I've seen quite a few reviews. Bourbon Nights do a lot of blind tastings where they do like these budget drams, and Jim Beam Devil Cut always comes up, sneaks up on them. So that I was really interested to see it and taste it, because yeah, it just seems to maybe go under the radar a bit. But yeah, basically they're drawing all the moisture out of the wood for the Devil's Cut. So quite an interesting way of producing it. But yeah, really a pretty solid bourbon, nice bit of spice kick to it. And that was all the whiskey I tried. I had other drams, of course, but they're all the new ones I tried. I had my usual sort of Kilkerrans and other stuff. I've got them laid out here for another video, so watch this space. But yeah, really nice. Some good whiskies in there. Irish whiskey. Doing some really interesting stuff compared to Scotland. I think they're missing out on some of these casks that they can't use. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please, yeah, comment down below what your favourite whiskey was in December. I really appreciate it. And also hit that thumbs up, and what other buttons? Click them all down there. Just click them all. It would really help me out, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. If you're returning, this series will continue this year. I hope you're enjoying it. And the Whiskey King, might be the last time you see this for a while. The Whiskey King says that is the last drop.